Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Hello students, welcome to chemistry classes. Today we shall discuss about concentrations of solutions. Students, whenever chemical reactions take place, generally the reactants react in the form of solutions. These solutions will have a certain concentration. Today we are going to study about the concentration of solutions. What the concentration of a solution indicates? Concentration of solution means a certain amount of the substance is dissolved in certain volume or a certain quantity of the solvent. That is indicated by the term concentration. So, concentration tells us what quantity of the substance is dissolved in what quantity of the solvent. Here, the resulting mixture is a solution. Students, actually solute when mixed with solvent, what we get is a solution. To prepare a solution, certain amount of solute is dissolved in known amount of the solvent. What is solute here? Solute is the component of solution which is present in less quantity. Solvent is another component of a solution which is present in excess or a large quantity. So, one which is present in small quantity, that is called as a solute. Another component which is present in excess in the solution is known as a solvent. How much amount of the solute is dissolved in what quantity of the solvent? That is indicated by concentration. Concentration of a solution can be expressed in few concentration terms. The few concentration terms are mass percent, which is also called as weight percent. It is also called as weight percent, denoted as W divided by W percentage. Mass percent or weight percent. Second one is mole fraction. It is denoted by the symbol like this. It looks like X, read as chi. It is chi. Third one is molarity. Fourth one is molality. These are the four concentration terms about which we are going to study in this concept. They are mass percent, mole fraction, molarity and molality. Let us take these concentration terms one by one. First one, that is mass percent, which is also called as weight percent. What is mass percent or weight percent? It is amount of solute present in 100 grams of the solution. It is a mass of a solute in 100 grams of the solution. Expression for this can be written as mass of a solute into 100 divided by mass of a solution. This is the equation which we can use to find the mass percent or weight percent. So equation is mass percent or weight percent is mass of solute into 100 divided by mass of a solution. Look at the expression here. Numerator term is mass. Denominator term is also mass. Mass divided by mass. Units of mass cancels. So mass percent is unitless quantity. It has no unit. It is unitless quantity. Denominator is mass. Numerator, both are mass. Numerator mass of solute, denominator mass of solution. Mass, students, we know it do not change as the temperature changes. Our weight, our mass will remain same even though temperature gets changed. So mass percent is not dependent on a temperature. So we can say mass percent is independent of temperature. It is independent of temperature. Temperature is denoted by capital letter T. So this is about the first concentration term, that is mass percent. Let's take up one problem related to mass percent. Problem related to mass percent is a solution is prepared by adding 2 grams of the substance to 18 grams of water. Calculate the mass percent of solute. So problem is, a solution is prepared by mixing 2 grams of solute in 18 grams water. Calculate mass percent of a solute. Students, go through the problem once. What is given is mass of solute, that is 2 grams. Here 18 grams water is given. 18 gram water means mass of a solvent. We know solute plus solvent is a solution. So in this, information given is mass of a solute, which is equal to 2 grams. Then mass of water means a solvent is given. So let's find mass of a solution, that is 2 grams of the solute plus 18 grams of the solvent, that is totally equal to 20 grams. So now we know mass of solute as well as mass of solution. Hence we can apply this equation, that is mass percent is equal to mass of solute into 100 divided by mass of solution. So let's find mass percent by applying the equation what we have. So it is 2 into 100 divided by 20, that is 200 divided by 20. Look at here. Or you can say 20 divided by 2. 20 divided by 2 is nothing but 2 ones are 2 ones are, that is nothing but 10. So mass percent is 10. So this is how you can calculate mass percent of any solute by applying the equation mass of solute into 100 divided by mass of the solution. So this is about first concentration term, that is mass percent. Now let's take up second term, that is the mole fraction. Let's take up mole fraction now. Denotation is chi. What is mole fraction? It is a ratio of number of moles of a component to the total number of moles. It is actually equal to number of moles of component divided by total number of moles of a solution or a number of moles of solution. This is nothing but mole fraction. Now here what is meant by component? Students, we know at least there will be two components in the solution. They are solute and solvent. So component may be a solute or solvent. So in terms of solute, if I express the mole fraction, equation will be number of moles of solute divided by total number of moles of solution. In terms of solvent, mole fraction can be given as number of moles of solvent divided by total number of moles of solution. How to find a number of moles? We already know it. That is mass divided by molar mass will give you the number of moles. Now let's consider we have a solution which is prepared by mixing two components. They are component 1 and component 2. Component 1 and component 2. So we have prepared a solution by mixing two components, component 1 and component 2. If component 1 is solute, component 2 will be solvent. Or if component 1 is a solvent, component 2 is solute. Now we want to find a mole fraction. It is number of moles of component divided by total number of moles of solution. So mole fraction of component 1 is chi 1, which is equal to number of moles of component 1 divided by total number of moles. What is total number of moles? Number of moles of component 1 plus number of moles of component 2. So equation is chi 1 is equal to n1 divided by n1 plus n2. In case if you want to find mole fraction of component 2, it is chi 2. Chi 2 is number of moles of component 2 divided by total number of moles, means number of moles of component 1 plus number of moles of component 2. Look at here, numerator is number of moles, denominator is also number of moles. So unit gets cancelled, means mole fraction is also unitless quantity. There is no unit for the mole fraction. It is also unitless quantity. And another thing is numerator is number of moles, denominator is also number of moles. We know number of moles is mass divided by molar mass. So there is no volume term in the numerator as well as in the denominator. The terms which we have is just mass terms in the numerator as well as denominator, which are independent of temperature. Hence, mole fraction is also independent of temperature. I'll denote temperature as capital letter T here. Now here we have mole fractions of two components, that is for the component 1 and component 2. Let's add the mole fractions of component 1 and component 2. On adding it will be n1 divided by n1 plus n2 plus n2 divided by n1 plus n2. Means in the numerator you have n1 plus n2. In the denominator also you have n1 plus n2, which gets cancelled. As a result, you will get the summation of mole fraction of component 1 and component 2 is unity. Means I can conclude it this way: sum of mole fractions of all components in a solution is unity. Means it is 1. In this solution we had only 2 components, so summation of mole fraction of both the components is 1. In case if a solution has more than 2 components, when you add the mole fractions, the answer what you get is 1. So this is about the mole fraction. Let's solve one problem related to this. Problem is 2 grams of sodium chloride is dissolved in 18 grams water. Find mole fraction of sodium chloride and water. Sodium chloride here is NaCl. Look at the problem. 2 grams of sodium chloride is dissolved in 18 grams water. Find mole fractions of sodium chloride and water. To find mole fraction, we must know number of moles. Now we do not know the number of moles. First you have to find number of moles. What is the formula we know? Mass divided by molar mass. So first let us find number of moles of sodium chloride, which is its mass 2 divided by its molar mass. Molar mass of sodium you will get it as 23 plus 35.5. 23 is atomic mass of sodium, 35.5 is atomic mass of chlorine. Total it is 58.5. So it is 2 divided by 58.5, that is equal to 0.034. So 0.034 mole. Similarly, find the number of moles of water. It is 18 divided by 18. What is 18? Mass of water. What is denominator 18 indicates? Molar mass of water, that's equal to 1. So we have 1 mole water and 0.034 moles of sodium chloride. Now let's find mole fraction of sodium chloride, which I'll write as chi sodium chloride. That's equal to number of moles of sodium chloride divided by number of moles of sodium chloride plus number of moles of water. That is equal to 0.034 divided by 0.034 plus 1. Means it is 0.034 divided by 1.034. What answer you get is 0.0328. 0.0328 will be the answer. This is number of mole fraction of sodium chloride. In case if you find mole fraction of water, you can find it this way: number of moles of water divided by number of moles of sodium chloride plus water. Or you can go for the simple formula, that is 1 minus mole fraction of sodium chloride, that is 1 minus 0.0328, that is equal to 0.967. It is 0.967. Students understand, either you can make use of the formula mole fraction of water is equal to number of moles of water divided by number of moles of water plus sodium chloride. That's a conventional formula you have. Or you can go for the simple formula, that is 1 minus mole fraction of sodium chloride. Why this formula? Because we already know summation of mole fractions of two components is equal to 1. So if you know the mole fraction of one component, you can find the mole fraction of another component by subtracting the mole fraction of the component what you know. So this is how you can calculate mole fractions for any components for any solution. So this is about the mole fraction. Let's now learn about molarity. Third concentration term is molarity. What is molarity? It is a ratio of number of moles of solute to the volume of the solution in liters. So I can write the expression this way: number of moles of a solute divided by volume of a solution in liters. Number of moles of solute divided by volume of solution in liters. Students, number of moles means mass divided by molar mass. Volume in liters is nothing but volume in a decimeter cube. Liter is equal to decimeter cube. So the same expression I can write this way: molarity is equal to mass per decimeter cube divided by molar mass. Mass by molar mass is number of moles divided by volume of solution. So these are the two expressions you can make use of to calculate molarity. Generally we go for this equation, that's number of moles of solute divided by volume of the solution in liters. Now what is the unit of molarity? Molarity is, unit of molarity is, numerator is mole, denominator is liter. So unit you can write this way: mole per liter, or you can write the same this way: mole per decimeter cube, mole dm to the power minus 3. Why? Because liter is equal to decimeter cube. Or this can be simply written as capital letter M. Capital letter M is read as molar. It is read as molar. So unit mole per liter or mole per decimeter cube or molar. Now if 1 mole of a solute is dissolved in 1 liter of the solution, then molarity is 1. So if 1 mole solute is dissolved in 1 liter solution, it is called 1 molar solution. If 0.1 mole solute is dissolved in 1 liter solution, then it is called 0.1 molar solution. 0.1 molar solution is called decimolar solution. Because 0.1 means 10 to the power minus 1. 10 to the power minus 1 is called deci. So if 0.1 mole is dissolved in 1 liter solution, then it is 0.1 molar, means decimolar. In case if 0.5 mole solute is dissolved in 1 liter solution, it is called 0.5 molar. 0.5 molar solution is called semi-molar solution. So these terms you will need in solving competitive questions, I mean MCQs. If 1 mole solute is dissolved in 1 liter solution, it is 1 molar solution, simply called as molar solution. If a 0.1 mole solute is dissolved in 1 liter solution, that's called decimolar. If a 0.5 mole solute is dissolved in 1 liter solution, that's called semi-molar, means 0.5 molar. Now, another thing, whenever we add more solvent to the given solution, concentration of the solution decreases. That process is called dilution. Dilution. What is dilution? Dilution is decreasing concentration of a solution. Decreasing concentration of solution by adding solvent. By adding solvent. I'll give you a simple example. Let's consider we have 1 glass water to which I have added 3 spoons of sugar. I have stirred it well. What I have is a sugar solution. I took 1 glass water, added 3 spoons sugar. I got a sugar solution which is sweet in taste. Now to the same solution, I will add more water. Whenever I add more water, the sweetness decreases. But amount of sugar do not change. In the solution, there is still 3 spoons of sugar. There is still 3 spoons of the sugar. But what has occurred? Sweetness of the sugar solution is decreased. So whenever you do dilution, concentration decreases. Amount of solute will not change, students. Compare the example of a sugar solution with any solution. What you can find is, whenever you add more solvent, concentration decreases. Such a process is dilution, but amount of the solute in the given solution will never change. Now let's consider we are doing dilution. To do dilution, we should have a solution with higher concentration. So solution with higher concentration is called stock solution. It is called a stock solution. From this stock solution, we can prepare solution of low concentration. Let's consider we have 1 molar solution. It is a stock solution to which I'll add water. I'll bring the concentration down. Let me say I have concentration now is 0.1 molar. Means add higher concentration solution, dilute it to lower concentration solution by adding more solvent. Now here the solvent with higher concentration is called stock solution. Students, whenever we do dilution, we can find the concentration of new solution we prepared by using the formula M1V1 is equal to M2 V2. This is a formula we can use to find the concentration after dilution. Here M1 and V1 correspond to molarity and volume before dilution, and M2 and V2 are molarity and volume after dilution. M1 molarity before dilution, V1 volume before dilution. M2 molarity after dilution, V2 volume after dilution. Here the formulae which we use is this one. Molarity is equal to number of moles of solute divided by volume of the solution. Another formula is this one. On dilution, formula is M1 V1 is equal to M2 V2, and units of molarity is important here. Problem related to molarity is 2 mark question. Let's solve one problem related to this now. Let's take up the problem. The problem is calculate molarity of a solution when 4 grams of sodium hydroxide is dissolved in enough water to prepare 250 milliliter of sodium hydroxide NaOH solution. Go through the problem. We have to find the molarity when 4 grams of sodium hydroxide is dissolved in water to prepare 250 milliliter of a solution. So here what is given is mass of a solute, that is 4 gram. Solute here is sodium hydroxide whose mass is 4 grams. This is what is given. Formula we have to find molarity is number of moles of solute divided by volume of the solution in liter. We do not know number of moles now. To find that, we have to know molar mass of sodium hydroxide. So let's find molar mass of sodium hydroxide. How will you find it? By adding atomic masses of sodium, oxygen and hydrogen. Sodium atomic mass 23, oxygen 16, 1 into 16, 16, hydrogen 1 into 1 or 1 into 1.008. 1.008 is approximately 1, so I will consider 1. 23 plus 16 plus 1 is nothing but 40 gram per mole, or 40 gram is the molar mass. Now we can find number of moles of solute, that is sodium hydroxide here, that is 4 divided by 40, mass divided by molar mass. Mass 40, molar mass is 4, molar mass is 40, that is 1 by 10, nothing but 0.1. This is number of moles. Now number of moles should be divided by the volume. What is the volume of solution given here? Volume of solution given is 250 milliliter, but we want the same in liters. 1000 milliliter is 1 liter. So 250 milliliter is nothing but 0.25 liters. Just the conversion. from one unit to another unit. Now we know everything which we can apply in the formula. So let's find molarity. Formula is number of moles of solute divided by volume of solution in liters. Liters I'll denote by capital letter L. So it is 0.1 divided by 0.25. It is 0.1 divided by 0.25. Answer what you get is 0.4. What is the unit? Numerator is mole, denominator is liter, so mole per liter. This is what the answer is. This problem is 2-mark question. Here I have given the data. You can directly apply the formula. Formula half mark, substitution half mark, answer with the correct unit 1 mark. Answer without unit carries a 0 mark. This is how the marks distribution will be. So you don't have to write all these things. Just take the formula and substitute, get the answer. So this is one 2-mark question. Next, let us learn about another concentration term, that is molality. Let's now learn about concentration term molality. What is molality? It is number of moles of solute present in 1 kg of the solvent. Number of moles of solute present in 1 kg of the solvent. Formula is number of moles of a solute divided by mass of a solvent in kilograms, that is in kg. This is a formula which we can use to find the molality. What is the unit of molality? Look at the numerator term, it is number of moles. Denominator is kg. So unit is mole per kg. Or it can be simply written as small letter m, which is read as molal. Capital letter M is molar, small letter m is molal. Molality term you see, numerator number of moles, denominator is mass. There is no volume term. So molality is independent of temperature. It is independent of temperature. But previously we had studied about molarity. Their numerator is number of moles, denominator is volume. Volume changes with change in temperature. So difference between molarity and molality is molarity depends upon temperature, whereas molality is independent of temperature. Molality independent of temperature, molarity depends upon temperature. Why? Because in molarity numerator term is number of moles, but denominator is volume, which changes with the temperature. Now let's take up one problem related to molality. Molality problem is the density of 3 molar solution of sodium chloride is the density of 3 molar capital letter M sodium chloride solution is 1.25 gram per milliliter. Calculate molality of a solution. Go through the problem. Density is given, that is 1.25 gram per milliliter. Molarity is given, that is 3 molar. We have to find molality of the solution. Students, we know relationship between density, mass and volume. We know density is equal to mass by volume. Here density of the solution is given. So, mass of a solution is equal to density into volume. It is density into volume. Density is 1.25 gram per milliliter, means 1.25 gram per milliliter into volume is 1000 milliliter. 1.25 into 1000 is 1250 grams. See why I took 1000 milliliter as volume. Unit of density is gram per milliliter. 1000 milliliter, why did I take? Because 3 molar solution means 3 moles dissolved in 1 liter. 1 liter means 1000 milliliter. Hence 1.25 into 1000. So the mass of solution we get is 1250 grams. Now here 3 molar is given. What is 3 molar? 3 molar indicates 3 mole sodium chloride in 1 liter. 1 liter or 1000 milliliter solution. Hence volume here is 1000. Now 3 molar means 3 moles. Hence we know number of moles of solute. Number of moles of solute is equal to 3. It is 3 moles. To find molality, we must know number of moles of solute and mass of solvent. We know mass of a solution. If we find mass of a solute, we can find mass of solvent later on. We know number of moles of solute. Now let's find mass of a solute. That is mass of solute sodium chloride. What is the mass? Formula we have is number of moles is equal to mass divided by molar mass. So mass of solute is number of moles into molar mass. Number of moles we already know, it's 3. Molar mass of sodium chloride is 23 plus 35.5, that is 58.5. So multiply 3 into 58.5, answer what you get is 175.5 grams. This is mass of solute. We know mass of solute and mass of solution. Hence we can find mass of solvent. Mass of solvent is equal to mass of solution minus mass of solute. Mass of solute. That is, mass of solution we have is 1250 minus 175.5, which is mass of solute. So 1250 minus 175.5, that is 1074.5 grams. But students, formula what we have is number of moles of solute divided by mass of solvent in kilogram. We want to solvent mass in kilogram. So let's convert it into kilogram by shifting decimal point. 1000 grams means 1 kg. So 1074.5 grams means 1.0745 kilogram. So we got mass of solvent in kilogram. We also know number of moles. Now apply the formula. What is the formula we have? That is number of moles of solute divided by mass of the solvent in kilogram. Number of moles of the solute is 3. Mass of the solvent in kilogram is 1.0745. So calculate this. 3 divided by 1.0745, that is equal to 2.79. What is the unit of this? Mole per kilogram, or the same can be written as 2.79 molal, that is small letter m. So this is how you can calculate the molality when number of moles and density given, or when number of moles and mass of solvent is given. This type of problem is 2 mark or a 3 mark question. So we have learnt about 4 concentration terms. They are mass percent or weight percent, then mole fraction, molarity and molality. In this part, definitions, units, then which concentration term is temperature dependent, which is independent, and problems related to those are important. So this ends your chapter 1, that is some basic concepts of chemistry. Thank you.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.